BNB's The Rinse. The search is on for Luna on November 20th, as will mourns a loss. On the Bold and the Beautiful's Thursday, November 20th, 2025, episode, Luna is on the loose. A search party is underway. Meanwhile, Will reels over the news of a devastating loss. Key takeaways. Luna fled the scene after the authorities arrived at the beach house. News spread about Luna's miscarriage. Will was in shock about the loss. That might not be the only death Los Angeles will mourn. Search party underway. There's a manhunt underway at the beach house. Luna, Lisa Yamada, left on foot once Will, Crew Morrow, informed her that the police had arrived, led by Deputy Chief Baker, Adam Martin. She snuck away into the dark woods, never to be seen again. Meanwhile, everyone else arrived at the location despite a crazed killer being on the loose. Katie, Heather Tom, and Bill, Don Diamant, showed up to check in on Will. Electra, Linnea Grace, raced back from the office. Meanwhile, Lee, Naomi Matsuda, Poppy, Romy Park, and Sheila, Kimberlyn Brown, dashed there upon hearing the news. Taylor, Rebecca Budig, wanted to seek justice for Luna's crimes. Most of the crimes involved Deacon's, Sean Cannon, friends. As BNB fans already know, Taylor and Deacon have gotten close lately. She probably feels she owes it to him to find Luna. Later, Deacon showed up at the search party to ensure that Luna pay for her crimes. Ivy, Ashley Brewer, also wanted to join the hunt for LA's most wanted for the sake of her niece. But that crafty Luna hid away in the bushes, making sure no one saw her. Unfortunately, it was a foggy and cloudy night, making the search even harder. Everyone used their phones' flashlights to search the area. It was a last-ditch attempt to get the cold-blooded killer behind bars. Who else will die? Back at the beach house, Will tried to come to terms with the news that the baby was no longer alive. BNB fans have doubts about Luna's miscarriage. Will apologized to Electra for the mistakes he had made. He just needed his girlfriend to help him navigate this situation. Electra hugged him and assured him that they would get through this together. Meanwhile, everyone was deep in the woods, calling out Luna's name. Some of them tried to catch their breath after searching for what seemed like forever. However, it was hard to see her through the thick fog. Luna smiled as she ran as far away as she could. She went through the woods, hills, and dunes of Malibu. She looked like she had finally gotten her taste of freedom. Luna stepped out onto a dirt road. But then she was shocked by the sight of headlights. A car appeared out of nowhere. Its tires screeched as it seemed to run her down. The screen cut to black. Is this the end of Luna Nozawa as we know it? Did Bold and the Beautiful tease Luna faking her own death? The morning sun over Los Angeles didn't feel warm, not today. Not for Will Spencer. It rose pale and weak through a haze of marine fog, like a spotlight dimmed for morning. Will stood at the edge of the bluff above Malibu Beach, hands shoved into the pockets of his jacket, staring at the white-tipped waves punching the shore. His phone buzzed again. He didn't move. Grief had anchored him. Behind him, soft footsteps approached. Steady. Familiar. Will, Liam said gently, placing a hand on his shoulder. You shouldn't be out here alone. Will exhaled, shaking his head. I'm not alone. Not really. Liam didn't push him. He only followed Will's gaze toward the surf. The same surf where, only hours earlier, Will had scattered the last handful of ashes belonging to the only person who had truly understood him during the chaos of his teenage years, Marisol Hart, his music teacher, mentor, and, though he rarely admitted it, closest friend. And while the surf still carried traces of her memory, something else had vanished along with her. Luna Nozawa. Missing since late last night. And no one knew why. 1. The disappearance. They found Luna's phone at the Forrester parking area. Her purse. The only thing missing was her. The police had asked all the usual questions. Was she depressed? Was she overwhelmed? Had she planned to meet someone? Was she running away? None of it fit. RJ had been the first to insist something was wrong. Then Poppy. Then the whole Forrester building seemed to hum with alarm. Will had tried to keep distance from the panic. He'd known Luna, liked her, even admired her, but his world had already collapsed with Marisol's death. The universe demanding more emotional energy from him felt cruel. But when he looked into RJ's terrified eyes that morning, he couldn't ignore it. Something had happened. Something was off. And Will understood loss too well not to help. 2. The last time anyone saw Luna. At Forrester Creations, the usually immaculate design studio was a storm. Papers everywhere. Coffee cups half full. One of Luna's sketchbooks sat open on the drafting table, a delicate pencil drawing of a sweeping ocean pattern on silk that looked eerily like the waves Will had stared at an hour earlier. Hope Logan paced the room like her heartbeat depended on it. She wouldn't just leave, Hope insisted. Not with the fitting tomorrow, not with everything she's been working toward. RJ sat on the couch, elbows on knees, hands clasped tight. She called me right before she left the building. She said she needed air. Just air. She said she'd be right back. And she didn't seem upset? Ridge asked. RJ shook his head. No. She sounded normal. A little tired, maybe. But nothing more. Poppy wrung her hands. The last few weeks have been heavy. Those arguments we had, maybe I pushed too hard. No, RJ said quickly. This isn't that. Something happened. Something out there. The room fell quiet. Will finally spoke. Did anyone check the security footage yet? Ridge nodded grimly. Yes. But one camera, one that faces the loading dock, conveniently malfunctioned last night. Will frowned. Conveniently. Poppy gasped softly. You don't think someone took her? Will looked around the room. At their faces. The fear. Their need for certainty. I think, Will said carefully, that people don't just vanish into thin air. Someone knows something. Maybe a stranger. Maybe someone she knew. RJ swallowed hard. How do we find her then? We start with what we do know, Will said. What she said. What she felt. What she left behind. Hope nodded. And the sketchbook? Will turned to the drawing, those swirling, beautiful lines like tides pulling in two directions. He didn't know why, but the picture made his stomach twist. Luna had been trying to say something. 3. The symbol in the sketch. Will flip the pages. Sketches. Fabric patterns. Doodles. Notes. On the last page, he found it. A symbol. Circular. Braided. Almost Celtic but not quite. And at its center, a single slanted line that intersected the whole pattern. Will held up the sketch. Does this mean anything to anyone? Poppy gasped. Oh my God. What? That's, Luna used to draw that symbol when she was younger. She was obsessed with it. Said she saw it once on the beach when she was a kid. She said it felt like someone was calling her. Like it meant something she wasn't supposed to forget. Hope exchanged a glance with Ridge. A memory?